Country Beef, no other beef so fresh, can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. K is for Kroger. C is for cut. B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. It's a fact, ladies, and here's the reason Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. Before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Yes, that's before the meat is weighed and priced. So you can see that means more meat for your money. You get top U.S. government grades of beef, meat that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. You get a better value in top-grade beef. For example, when you buy a Kroger-cut porterhouse steak, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes the long, stringy end and excess waste before the steak is weighed and priced. You don't pay steak price for stringy meat and excess waste. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, you receive more meat, less waste. But see for yourself. Visit your neighborhood Kroger store. Get Kroger-cut beef and get more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. When morning comes, not only the day is new, for with each morning defeated hopes arise, and there's new promise of fulfillment of the dreams of the night before. Penny Gibbs rose cheerfully this morning, for with the morning, Barry Carlton came back to town. And now there is brightness of expectation in her face, for in the Gibbs home, the doorbell rings.
I'll get it. Oh.
Good morning, darling.
Oh, Barry, darling.
You are glad to see me, aren't you?
Oh, maybe I'm acting like a schoolgirl, but it seems as though you've been away for a year.
Thanks. It's only been a few days, you know.
I know. You have no idea how long a day can be. Let me look at you.
Well, let me do more than look at you.
Can you stay this morning, or do you have to go right to the office?
No, I can stay.
Oh, you're playing hooky.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, for once, I'm glad about it. I think I want to be a bad influence on you today. Go on, darling, sit down.
If I can sit beside you.
I don't think I'd let you sit anywhere else. Oh, Barry. Are you ashamed of me for being so glad to see you and for acting like such a baby?
I wouldn't want you any other way. Well, you want me to tell you about my trip, don't you?
Nope, I don't think so, not now. Now that you're back, it doesn't seem very important. And I've thought of some wonderful new ideas for the house for Nora and Freddie. If we can spend a little bit more money than we planned.
You know that the cost doesn't matter, Penny.
Sometimes I have a tendency to be a little extravagant. You won't scold me if I'm extravagant, will you?
I couldn't scold you for anything, darling. Did you see Mother while I was gone?
Mm-hmm. Day after you left. I was kind of worried then. I don't know why, but I had a feeling you'd suddenly stopped loving me. We're running away.
Darling, I couldn't stop loving you any more than I could move a mountain. Moving a mountain would be easier. I don't love you in the way I thought I did, just simply as a man loves a thing of beauty or power. No, I love you more. I love you with the same unfailing desire that I have to live. It's that constant. It's strong. And it'll last as long as life itself. That's how much I love you.
Oh, darling. I've never heard a nicer speech. It said everything I wanted it to say. It told me that you love me and that you love me as much as I love you. It told me that I never have to doubt you or be afraid.
I'd be afraid? Of what?
Of life. Being lonesome.
Oh. Penny, listen, I want to tell you about my trip.
In a minute, darling. Do you want to laugh at me?
At what?
At me. Do you know what I thought you might have done?
When?
When you went away.
What?
Well, I hope you won't be afraid that I'm going to be a suspicious wife, but...
Yeah?
I had a vague idea you might have gone away to meet Peg Martin.
Is that the truth?
It's the awful truth. It's kind of funny, though.
Yeah?
You know, I think she had designs on you.
Oh, did she?
Didn't you ever suspect? Freddie did, so did Johnny.
Well, I'll tell you about Peg sometime.
Oh, so she did make an attempt then.
Yes, once, but it's not important enough to talk about. Especially when there are other things to say.
Oh, no, she isn't important, is she? Nothing is. And there are hundreds of things to say, aren't there? Barry, you know what I'd like to do this evening, if you're not too tired.
Well, I'm not tired at all.
Let's drive to our mountain tonight, right to the top of it, where the house will be.
Well, if we might get wet, I think it's going to rain.
Barry, there isn't a cloud in the sky.
No, not yet, but the paper predicted showers by nightfall, and it was raining west of here when I came in on the plane this morning.
Well, if it doesn't rain, and although I wouldn't care how wet I got, we haven't been to our mountain in over a week. And I like to plan the house when I'm up there. Girls are a nuisance about that sort of thing, aren't they?
Well, fine homes we'd live in if they were built to suit the tastes of the average man.
You're not average, darling.
No, I'm not.
Jed and Johnny both say the house can be ready by late fall if the contractor knows his business. We chose a good contractor, didn't we?
I hired the best.
Oh, there are
Penny,
so many things I wanted to tell you and ask you while you were gone. Now that you're here, I can't think of one.
Well, maybe you'd better let me talk.
Will it be about us?
In a way.
Oh, darling, how can there be anything else to talk about?
It's my trip to New York.
Is that important?
Yes, it is. Darling, I learned from Mother the other night that there's an undeniable strain of insanity in my family. My father and grandfather both went completely out of their minds before they died.
Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry, you... I don't...
You don't understand yet. Now let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Penny, insanity of the sort that runs in my family is... Well, it isn't like an infection that can be cured with a few shots of penicillin. It's hereditary.
Barry?
Now I'm all right, yes. And I may be all my life. Things like this sometimes skip a generation, sometimes die out and never reappear. But there's no way of being sure. That's what I went to New York to find out.
Well, you don't think this makes a difference in the way I feel about us, do you?
No, I didn't think it would, and it doesn't change my feelings about you either. But, darling, I went to see a famous specialist in New York. He says that there's too great a risk involved for me to marry.
What do we care what he says?
I do. I won't marry you, Penny. I can't.
Yes, you will, darling.
I can't. I won't allow you the misery and mental torture of what might happen later. It's because I love you so. If I didn't love you, I'd offer you a few years of happiness and let you risk the unhappiness of all the years to follow. But I love you much too much to give you one unhappy moment.
Barry, what do you think you're doing to me now? I don't believe this. You haven't come back to Rossville, and I'm just dreaming.
I wish that were so. I'm selfish enough to wish Mother never told me, because if I didn't know, I'd marry you. But now that I do know, can't and won't.
Barry, tell me once more that you love me.
I love you, Penny. I love you all my life.
Well, then, if you love me, what does this other thing matter? I love you, too. I love you as you are. Barry, you're the same before you told me this as you are now. I loved you then. I love you now. What I know about you doesn't make any difference.
If it did, I'd know you didn't love me. Somehow, I wish now that you didn't. This would be a far easier thing to do.
Barry, nothing has to be done but to go on as we plan.
We can't go on with our plans, darling. We mustn't. How can we honestly be happy together with that shadow over us? How can we go on together day after day waiting for that first innocent sign that I'll suffer the same terrible fate my father and grandfather did? Mother described my father's last years to me. The vision of it burned into her memory forever. I want you to remember me as I am now, or as I might be someday.
Maybe I'm too stunned to realize what this means. This morning when I got up, I was going to see you and laugh with you. I knew that today and tomorrow and the day after, and all the days that follow, would be together, in love and loving you. Now, what about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Penny? There can be no tomorrow for us. Not the way things are. I'm going away. Going away to find something. I believe what I was told by that doctor in New York, but it's not enough. It's not enough that it's come from just one man. With all my heart, I want to marry you, Penny.
Well, then why won't you? Why are you going away?
To keep myself from doing what I want to do more than anything in this world. To keep myself from marrying you. And to do that, I want to search out every doctor, every man of authority on the subject, and to be told again and again that I can't marry you. I must be told I can't. Again and again, or I'll weaken and turn selfish and marry you.
Barry, won't some of them tell you that you can? Can't this thing be killed? Isn't there something you can do, or they can do, so that you won't be afraid of it?
If there is, I'll find it. That's what I'm going to go looking for, but... Darling, I have no hope that I'll find it.
I do.
No, don't. We have to forget about ourselves. You must forget about me and start over again. Find someone else. Be happy. You can. You will. Don't let your beauty and your youth go to waste wanting something and someone that it's wrong to have.
Barry, listen to me. I haven't loved you to lose you. I haven't dreamed our dreams just to while away the hours. Darling, you're not just another person to me. You're my life. And I'm not going to give up my life. If I have to wait for it, I'll wait.
Penny, you may have to wait forever. Then what will you have done? You'll have lived on hope, and hope's not enough.
Hope's all I need, and so I'll hope and I'll have faith that you'll come back and you'll be well. Be sure that you're well, and then you will marry me.
I don't know what to say, even what to think. I didn't think it would be like this at all.
How did you think it'd be? Did you think I'd say I couldn't love you?
No, but I hoped you'd see it my way and try to forget that we were to be married.
To forget that, I'd have to forget you and forget myself. And I can't do that.
Penny, I don't want you to think about me again. If I can come back, you're still free, then we'll start all over again. Let's stop it now. Let's cut it out of our hearts. Pretend we never knew each other.
Barry, you asked me to let you go, and I can do that. Because that's what you want. But now you're asking me to stop loving you. That's impossible.
I've done it then. Done the thing I hated most to do and hoped against hope I wouldn't do. Brought you nothing but unhappiness and endless, hopeless years and waiting. Waiting for something that may never be.
But I will wait, Barry. I'll wait if it's forever, and I won't be miserable. Because God's good. God's kind. And he's not only taught me to love, but he's taught me to have faith. And I do have faith that somewhere, someday, somehow, we will meet again.
Is this the final tragic end for Penny Gibbs and Barry Carlton? Will faith heal Barry's wounds and mend Penny's broken heart? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste, because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. In buying Kroger cut rib roast, for example, you don't pay rib roast price for excess bone and waste. The chine bone is trimmed, the waist and short rib end removed, giving you top U.S. government grades of beef that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. And before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, waste, and stringy ends. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. But mind you can get Kroger cut beef only at your neighborhood Kroger store. So go there as soon as you can. Step up to the meat counter and ask the Kroger meat man for Kroger cut beef. You'll get delicious and juicy and tender beef, and you'll get more meat, less waste. That means you get more meat for your money at your Kroger store. Listen again Monday, same time, same station, for another thrilling transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.